Welcome to the Pulse of the Heartland podcast, the podcast where no topic is off limits. Now, welcome the boys of the Heartland, Bryant, Ryan, Clark, Joey, and Trent. If you've ever kicked around the idea of starting a podcast like the boys of the Heartland, we all recommend Anchor by Spotify. It is the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. So novice podcasters like the boys of the Heartland can jump right in. Anchor has all the tools that allow you to edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. So download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Welcome to the Pulse of the Heartland podcast. This is episode 23. This is the Fun Cast. Thanks for listening to this episode and hanging out with us for this. Thanks for listening to previous episodes. We appreciate it. Again, let us know how we're doing, what you want to hear us talk about. Joey, how can people get a hold of us?
Find us on Twitter and Instagram at Heartland Pulse. Look us up on Facebook and YouTube. Just search Pulse of the Heartland. And we are on all the major platforms: Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeartMusic. And if you're listening to this with a friend and don't have any of those, let them know to hit us up in the DMs, and we'll get you that Anchor link. Like Trent said, make sure you let everyone know about the podcast. Let us know what you do like and what you don't like. And look for a special episode of Combat Sports coming out later in the week also.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, Joey, what are you drinking?
I'm still sipping on that vodka and diet. Trying to look good in the summer. Got to start in the winter. I just got too fat. So anyway, go ahead.
Still that COVID with the vodka, huh?
Yeah, I actually feel way better than I have the rest of the week. Tomorrow will probably be atrocious, but whatever. That's not for right now. We're on the funnest cast ever.
This is the funnest cast.
You guys remember like the first month of COVID when everyone's like, I hear alcohol kills coronavirus. And then everyone was a very funny comedian saying, I'm going to kill corona with the corona. And then we tried to become alcoholics for a couple months. Anyone?
Tried to?
Well, we kind of already were. I mean, I don't know. I just remember everyone becoming alcoholics was going to fix this thing and still going around for some reason. So
as soon as it came out, I'm gonna do this my way, and it's happening. I'm gonna kill it from the inside out.
There you go.
So all the people that are vaccinated are blaming the people that aren't vaccinated that this thing hasn't gone away. So are all the people that are alcoholics blaming all the people that don't drink for not killing the virus?
I blame the Mormons is who I blame. They don't drink. They haven't done their part to stop this thing.
First Catholics, now the Mormons. Yeah. What religion does Bryant not hate?
Tune in next week. I'll let you know.
Let's just keep on rolling, baby.
Yeah.
Move on to the next topic.
Oh, Jesus. Limp Bizkit. Got it.
Oh, man. 2 in. God damn.
Wow.
All right. We don't have to hear any more song lyrics anymore. So
I'm going to eat you alive.
I wanted to hear chocolate starfish or in hot dog water or some shit.
What kind of vodka are you drinking, Joey?
You shove it up your nookie.
No.
That is a very particular brand of vodka.
Absolute, baby.
Absolute. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm still working on that $50 bottle that the compound leaders got me for Christmas.
Nice. Mm-hmm. All right. Clark, what are you tonight?
I'm still working on that Templeton 4-year. Currently drinking it neat.
Nice. Is this still a wedding bottle?
Oh, yeah. I've still got like another bottle after this one.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Thank God for this podcast. Otherwise, I'd still have like 3 bottles.
That's why we started it, to help you get rid of your booze.
Yes,
much appreciated.
And Ryan, what are you drinking?
I switched over to the Oak and Eden. I'm going with the rye with the charred oak spiral. And I should probably settle down because, I need water.
Stay hydrated, my friend.
Tomorrow will be rough if I don't get some of that water.
Yeah, better put some ice cubes in that there whiskey.
Turn it up. Bitch.
That's all there is.
And Bryant, what are you drinking?
It's out of Blackstack Brewing out of St. Paul, Minnesota. It's called Viewers Like You. It is an apple pie shrub sour, and it's got a like an old school television on it. And every apparently beer that you buy of this, they donated to the Twin Cities PBS. So I'm drinking, but I'm also a very good person at the same time. So.
Cool. And it's a sour, and I think we got into this a couple weeks ago that I like sours now, so I'd like to try that.
I'd recommend it.
Now, when they donate to PBS, are they like $5 for a calendar, or is it like $30 for a mug? Like, how much are they donating here?
I got.
I remember.
I bought this at Hy-Vee, Joey.
I know. I'm just remembering back in the day when we'd watch like Red, Green, and stuff, and PBS would have their marathons.
And send you like that tote bag and shit.
Yeah, you donate $500, you get a free tote bag to take to Aldi. Like, oh, cool.
Yeah, now they're just freaking everywhere. But
Trent, what are you drinking?
I'm going with Old Reliable, just a Bush Light.
Bush.
Nice.
Bush. All right, well, let's get into some food talk here. Sounds like Clark made some soup.
I did. So, family recipe. I got it from my mom. Making some cheesy potato soup. My little twist I like to put on it is I swap out the bacon that's in the recipe and I add in pulled pork that I've kept over from a prior barbecue. So,
nice.
I like the added flavor and texture of the pulled pork versus bacon. I do love bacon, but I think the pulled pork works great in that dish. So one of my favorites. I had a little bit of assistance while I was making the soup yesterday or on Sunday. So my nephew, Ian, he was at the house with me hanging out, and he's like, "Oh, I want to cut up the potatoes." All right, bud. Gave him the knife. Didn't lose any fingers. Just shaved a thumb. So
It has 9.5 digits now.
Yeah, no, he's still got all fingers. Just took a little skin off. So
Did he seriously though?
Well, blood, but it's
that's good.
Like if you had like a blister or something pulled off the outer layer of skin, that's essentially what happened. So
he came pretty close.
Yeah. Well, I pulled out the old knife steel whenever I pulled it out of the block. I'm like, well, here you go. And I showed him how I sharpen the knife. And he's like, oh, how you do that? And he holds it and he starts sliding the steel up and down. They're like, hold up, child. Hold up. You're going to take a finger off here.
Hold up, child.
Yeah. So I showed him how to get, let him do a few strokes. And then I was like, all right, now don't you dare cut off a finger when you're cutting these potatoes. So.
Did you show him the fold your finger under and just hold it by the knuckle thing?
Well, I tried.
I see that a lot on TikTok now, and I've been trying. And I tell you what, I'm more scared to cut my whole knuckle off than I am just to tip my finger.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if I'm the only one who's got sausage fingers, but it's kind of hard to get that fingertip on something, So
she said.
Yeah.
Really.
So
you are
for you.
My dad got, I think it was his thumb with one of the mandolins. That just that gives me the heebie-jeebies just thinking of it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No ER visits, so we're good.
Good.
Success.
Good.
But so the soup, it comes together pretty easy. You just make up a little bit of a roux for that. It starts out with some butter in the old stock pot, and with that butter I like to add onions, soften those up, get them where they're looking translucent, look a little bit, soften, and a little bit of aroma going on. Then you add in some flour to the fat with the butter, thickens it up. That's what you call a roux. And then you start thinning that back out with some milk, and then you add in some cheese. It's just a delicious base, delicious and creamy. Then you throw in your potatoes and your meat, and you're golden. That's it.
This is a very sexual segment right now.
Oh yeah.
At least I was turned on. So.
Put your
Is it
pants on,
making you
Joey.
moist?
No. You ruined it.
They lost
Ugh.
Joey.
I went from 12 to 6 real quick.
Did you smoke anything with the old Rona, Joey?
I did not. I tried to do dishes once and it about kicked my ass, so that really sucked.
Do you have taste or smell?
I do have both, which
Okay.
is good because I did pick up groceries yesterday and got some chicken breast tenderloins from Walmart and put them in the crock pot and actually made like a buffalo shredded chicken so I could put it on salads and stuff for this keto thing I got going on. Added a couple packets of seasoning and it's really fucking good. I was really impressed for crock pot stuff. So yeah, it wasn't as good as smoked. Tomorrow it's supposed to be cold here, but I'm obviously staying home for the rest of the week, but the rest of the office got shut down. And I'm going to be doing some Iowa chops on the smoker for probably 3 or 4 hours tomorrow. I'm going to let it go low and slow and just see how smoky I can get them, I think.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I had the Rona over Christmas of 2020, I did a brisket on Christmas and then lost my sense of taste and smell the next day. So I did get to taste it before I lost it. So
it's funny you bring that up, and it's funny we talk about brisket because another one of my coworkers also has the Rona, and she lost her taste and smell, and she was talking about how she's going to disinfect her house and everything and make sure everything's good to go. And this was my response to her. I said, I think I'm going to just let mine keep mutating, and hopefully someday I'll be able to star in a Marvel movie as Mr. Pandemic, some evil barbecuist that lures in victims with brisket and then sends them home with a terrible cough and the inability to fight back due to extreme fatigue. And she comes back. She goes back, 1, you've been in your house too long, and 2, God, now I just want brisket, but I can't taste it.
So did you smoke anything, Ryan?
So I put it on the Instagram earlier this week. I made I smoked a chicken breast for myself and put some Meat Church Holy Voodoo on there to get a spicy seasoning, and boy, that was delicious. And then after that, my wife wanted some seared tuna on there. So the thing I love about my Pit Boss is you can turn the heat up as high as possible, open that sear plate up, and you've got a good tuna fillet within a few minutes. So that's what I did this week.
Nice.
I like it. How'd your tuna turn out?
I didn't have any, but the wife says it was restaurant quality. So
good.
So do you just not have it? Do you not like tuna?
Not a big tuna guy.
No. Yeah. Okay.
No.
Now I see that. Like a lot of people, they just don't like fish.
Do you
I
get
like
that out of
certain-
the? I'm
Go ahead.
curious where you source your tuna from. Did you get that out of the packet or the can?
The packet. No, no chicken of the sea on the Pit Boss.
Yeah. We're talking about he went to Spearfish Canyon and caught it.
Yeah.
Oh, just right there in the
Just
creek,
got-
eh?
Yeah.
Wild freshwater tuna there.
Yeah.
Are those sage fed? I don't know.
Sage fed tuna.
Pine needle fed, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Did you do your vegetables on the Pit Boss also?
No, Beck did those on the stove.
Okay,
They
look
those. She baked those, yeah.
They look good. So
Very good.
If the rest of the people listening are super hungry, check out Ryan's pictures on their Instagram. They're pretty damn good.
Heck yeah. The presentation of the tuna that Beck did, just top notch.
Little avocado on there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's what it's all about when you get on the Food Network in these competitions. It's all presentation.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I just did some boneless, skinless chicken thighs we had. Katrina wanted those smoked. So, nothing special, nothing gram worthy. So, I didn't put anything up on Instagram, but I did rub them down with some Fire and Smoke Society sweet pepper honey kissed bird rub. I really like that. That rub. It's pretty good. I guess another thing, it's not smoking, but we had some walleye. So fried up some walleye this week. That is a huge Midwest and upper Midwest thing. People go crazy over walleye. So
Did that come from firefighter Randy?
no, it came from one of Katrina's coworkers. He wanted to give up his call, so Katrina took it, and as payment, he gave her some walleye.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that's how we got that, and it turned out pretty good.
That's awesome.
Bryant, did you cook anything good?
No, I ordered Casey's Pizza this weekend.
Nice.
Okay, that's good. That is good
Hey,
stuff.
Pulse of the Heartland right there. That's what it is.
When I was back to Sioux Falls, was 2 weeks ago, Trent, when I saw you or whatever, I made sure I stopped by the Casey's in Harrisburg and grabbed a piece of pizza there.
Oh, breakfast pizza?
Yep. Yeah, you don't get that West River. Got to do it when I'm East River.
Breakfast pizza is the best.
Oh yeah.
Right. Did you reheat any pizza?
Oh yeah, I didn't eat the whole thing at once. I reheated it the next day, but it didn't make it much past there.
I was gonna say, how did you reheat it? Any special tips?
Microwave.
No.
Like,
I'm just trying to get you involved, man.
You can leave me out. I'll let you know when I got something.
I thought Joey was going for a debate here. I mean, I'm a do not reheat your pizza guy. You eat it cold.
Fuck you guys. Fuck that shit. No,
I mean,
you can.
You set it on the counter and maybe leave it for a few minutes.
what? No.
Yeah.
Straight from the fridge.
No. I don't do cold pizza. I have to heat it up.
The consistency of that cheese at that point, it's perfect.
Yep.
Makes me want to
Only at my most hungover is cold pizza. Okay.
And that's only if it's been on the counter from the night before, like not in the fridge.
Yeah, but what about reheating it in the stove though?
Hungover.
Ooh, so that's what I was getting at. One of my coworkers at a job before this turned me on to putting it in a pan and flipping it a couple times and reheating it that way, and it is so much better than in the microwave.
No, you just straight from the Ziploc bag from the fridge.
No.
Or just throw it back on the pizzazz or something like that.
Well, yeah, but if you don't have one of those, I don't have one of those. So I have an air fryer. I'm going to try that next time.
Ooh.
Oh, air fry the pizza?
That might be all right.
Yeah. So I don't know if anybody else watches much YouTube, but there's a barbecue channel out there that I'm subscribed to.
Is it Heartland Pulse?
No, but it's not. I should probably subscribe to our channel. But
Are you fucking kidding me? Not even one of the hosts is on it? Jesus.
I think I might be, but anyways, no, it's a channel with like 2+ million subscribers called Barbecue Pit Boys. And their last video that they've posted is some smoked cream cheeses. I think we've got some listeners out there, guys.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, we started the trend, that's for sure.
Yeah, smoked cream cheeses. I'm like, these sons of bitches.
It's so fucking good, though.
Oh yeah,
Still something I need to try.
It is the easiest thing you could do.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably wait till you're over your diet, but you know,
yeah, eating a half a block of cream cheese is not good for you.
See, on the keto, I can. I just can't eat anything else with
it. No Ritz crackers.
Nope, I got to do pork rinds if I want anything, or celery.
Just eat it with a fork.
I mean, I don't tempt me.
The boys from the Heartland will be right back.
All right, let's jump into the NFL here. Got some playoff games coming up this weekend, Saturday and Sunday again. Saturday, we have the Bengals and the Titans. And then we also have the 49ers and the Packers. And Sunday, the Rams and the Buccaneers, and the Bills versus the Chiefs. Do we just want to go through and make our picks right now so we can just clear the air, get that out there?
So I think we should go game by game and each person say their pick and why they're choosing them, kind of like they do on the morning shows before the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good to me.
You want me to start?
First game, Saturday. Is that right?
Yep. Bengals Titans at 3:30. I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I can't not jump off this Joe Burrow bandwagon right now, even though my man crush may be playing. Derrick Henry, I don't think coming off an injury is going to be that big of a factor, and got to go team stripes. I don't care if it's orange and black or white and black. Just keep that baby rolling.
Nope, I couldn't agree with you more there, Joey, about the refs being on Cincinnati's side. That's kind of why I'm picking them as well. Until I see a fair game called, for the Bengals, they're going to keep going for them. So I might as well jump on the bandwagon and start getting some picks back here.
I can't wait until the Bengals play the Chiefs and the refs are between a rock and a hard place of Joe Burrow and the Bengals with Jamar Chase, or just the meteor that is Patrick Mahomes. Who do they try and throw the game for?
We've already seen that result.
Yeah.
But not in the playoffs.
So let me interrupt here with that, because and this is going to be me going through all the games. I've got these stats up for each team. For penalties, we see for this game this season, Cincinnati has had 72 total penalties, and the Titans have had 103.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you go to the next game, you have, or one of the Sunday games, you have LA with 76 and Tampa Bay with 95, and then you have the Bills with 113, Kansas City with 111.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as a Vikings fan, you see this all the time.
I saw this coming.
San Francisco with 102, Green Bay with only 69 this year.
Nice.
So you're saying that the least penalized teams are the Packers and the Bengals?
Sure are.
Huh. Interesting. Any comment on that, Joey?
Go Bengals.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm going with,
Jungle ain't no fun of games.
yeah, that being said, I'm going with Cincinnati. Let's go LSU, guys.
Whoop, whoop.
I am also going with Cincinnati in this one. I think the number 1 seed goes down.
I just cannot believe that you guys have zero faith in Vrabel. Tennessee is going to fucking take down these fucking kitty cats. Kick ass!
Who's the Titans QB again?
Don't even give a shit.
Titans, Ryan Tannehill.
I know. I'm just saying, yeah, you're relying on Ryan Tannehill and a Derrick Henry that's coming off an injury. Julio, who hasn't done anything all year. AJ, that was injured earlier in the year. AJ
lit it up 2 weeks ago.
Well,
3 weeks ago. So.
Maybe they do. And gosh, I would really hate to see the Cincinnati Bengals go down, though. But I'm kind of fading my pick towards Trent. If I pick Cincinnati and they win, great. I got a pick here. But if they lose, oh darn it, the referees didn't win a game for the Bengals again.
So Clark is lone wolfing it over here with Tennessee.
I'm the only one with the cojones to do it.
Yeah.
Got to be bold, my friend.
Yeah. So
I believe this is like 6 weeks in a row I picked Cincinnati. So I'm lone wolfing the shit out of that.
Big game Joe.
That's right.
So the next game is the 49ers and the Packers. That game is 7:15 on Saturday night on Fox. Who wants to start with their pick?
Joey, keep going. You're the one that was undefeated. Tell us
you're
who's
the big winner.
Yeah. Tight End University resides in Iowa City, Iowa. And the greatest tight end in the league is going to lead his team to victory over that fraud up in Green Bay. Actually, I don't.
Chiefs don't play until Sunday night, Joey. What are you talking about?
Hey.
Huh? Oh, we're doing the Niners Packers. Oh yeah, what are you talking about?
Yeah, you're talking
the
about
best tight end in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Travis
You're
Kelce.
talking. Are you trying to say little kitty cat, little Greg Kitty?
Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
No, George Kittle.
Travis Kelce plays on Sunday.
George Kittle.
No, Travis Kelce plays on Sunday.
From the University of Iowa, George Kittle.
Yeah.
Anyway,
hold on real quick. I looked up this stat real quick. Greg George Kittle, doesn't matter who it is. Kittle, 0 Super Bowl rings. Kelce 1. So okay.
That number 1 you're looking at, that was how many catches he had last week.
Yeah.
And he had like 30 more pancake blocks than Travis Kelce did.
They
play different positions.
He's so bad at catching the ball, they have him pass blocking.
Yeah.
No, they need him to play other positions because it's just not a circus run offense. Like, I don't know. Travis Kelce's good. I'm not going to hate. Like, whatever.
When you're a weapon, you go out there to catch the ball.
Mm-hmm.
God. Anyway, San Francisco, I think, goes into Green Bay. They're a very good matchup for them. They've got good DBs to cover Devontae. If Green Bay's running game can get going, I think Green Bay could probably handle them. But San Francisco also has the offense that can slow down Green Bay from being on the field too much. I'm going to go San Francisco because of my man George, and I like Kyle Shanahan also.
Is Bosa back this week?
Yes. He was back last week.
He left with a concussion last week, though.
I got you.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you're right. Fuck.
That can change your whole pick there, or?
No, I don't think so. No, it's not. Move on to the next person.
So did you see
Oh, go ahead,
Kittle?
Kurt.
Did you see Kittle come into the stadium on this past week with his Austin 316 shirt?
No.
You did not see that.
Yeah.
I did.
Makes sense. Joey was rock hard for him then.
Yeah, he's like, have a beer.
Oh, shit. Jimmy Garoppolo might be out with a shoulder and fuck me. What am I doing?
So, Joey,
Whatever.
I'm gonna follow along with you and say the 49ers. Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers is 0-3 against the 49ers in the playoffs. I know it's history, but things can change. The last time they played each other was 2019 NFC Championship, and that's when the 49ers ran for 285 yards against them. It's going to be cold in Green Bay. I don't see a whole lot of throwing anyway. Trey Lance can hand the ball off as good as anybody. I'm going to go with 49ers there. They just look hot. They just look really good at the end of the season.
And the 49ers have 4 running backs on the field at all times, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah, they've just become. I mean, Green Bay's been fantastic all season, but they also lost to the Vikings. So
That's how you base that pick. They lost to the Vikings. They suck.
yeah,
And the 49ers. Didn't the 49ers beat the Vikings? Did they play
sure
this
did.
year? Yeah.
They sure did. So, yeah, San Francisco looks like they're really turning it on. I'm gonna go with San Francisco.
Nice.
All right. So I'm going to go and be like Clark and Bryant, last week's pick, and be the NFC North homer.
Mhm.
I am picking the Packers. I think they get this done. I don't think Aaron Rodgers loses this game in Lambeau in the cold to San Francisco. Not happening.
You know what? The refs probably won't let it happen either.
Yeah, I would say until I see the refs screw over Green Bay because they've been so damn good for so long, and I've been jealous of them for so long. And until I see it, because I mean Green Bay, they always make the NFC Championship game, and that's when they lose. I don't care if it's San Francisco or not. I think Green Bay goes on. I think Rodgers has enough, and like you said, right now with the injuries with Jimmy G, potentially Bosa, and I'm like going down the list. There's plenty of other injuries. The only other thing, and this is, again, my emotions getting to it, D Ford is on the 49ers, and I cannot support that man after the offsides in that AFC Championship 3 years ago. So Green Bay all the way.
So I'm looking at this. The Packers have 4 losses this year. How many of those are in Lambeau? 0. The game that they lost, or the game that they played against the Niners, the Packers won that game 30-28. It was in San Francisco. I think Lambeau is an issue. I think the Niners gave it all they got. They're pretty banged up going into it. Packers are rested. Pack go, baby.
You said that wrong. It's go, Pack, go.
I'm not going to do it like that.
It's probably the first time he's ever cheered for Green Bay. Give him a shot. He's got to.
I know. My bad.
Well, and it was also week 3. There's been so much things that have changed there. I'm looking at who the even players are. I mean, Jimmy did start that game. Rodgers. I mean, they had a completely different running back for San Fran. So, yeah.
Well, and were they running a Trey Lance package back then too, where Jimmy's in a few plays and Trey Lance comes in for a play or two?
That was probably when they were dinking around with it, honestly, trying to figure out who they actually wanted.
Yep. Yeah, so it's a completely different team since then.
Yeah, which we talked about in the last pod. I mean, it's crazy to think that they drafted Trey Lance and think that he's going to be the future when Jimmy G, I mean, he's 33-15 with them. It's like he hasn't done badly, winning 2/3 of your games, and they're looking for your replacement. I mean, I don't know. I think Aaron Rodgers pulls it out. I don't know about the next week, but I think he gets out of divisional at least.
All right, so the next game will be the Rams and the Buccaneers on NBC at 2:00 on Sunday. Joey, who you got?
I'm going to go with my Super Bowl pick. Go Rams. Staph infection looks really good right now.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like he's taken over. OBJ out of nowhere. I don't know if anyone else watched the game and listened to the commentary, but they're like, oh, yeah, Odell Beckham is like 1A or 1B to Cooper Kupp's 1B. Or, sorry. Cooper Kupp is 1A, OBJ is 1B. And then that Higgins or the tight end or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no, he's actually the 1B. And they're like, oh, well, that's 1C then for OBJ. And they just have so many weapons is what I'm even getting confused with what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Rams were overwhelming in their last game, and I think they've got momentum going. Tom Brady, don't get me wrong, looked really, really good in the last game. I just don't think he's got the weapons that could compete with the Rams at this point, and the Rams defense looks pretty fucking good. I will say if Tristan Wirfs was 100%, I may have picked the Buccaneers, but that injury, and then he tried to come back last week, that right side is going to be tough. His replacement looks not real good against the team they played last week. So, yeah, I'm good with the Rams taking this one.
Is Wirfs officially out?
No, they said he's possible to come back. It'll be day-to-day until Sunday.
Yeah.
It looked bad, and then when the play he came back for, he got rolled up on the same knee and did not look good coming off. Like I tweeted, I want to shank the person that hurt Tristan Wirfs. That dude is a god.
For me, I've been saying it all season. As good as the Rams looked against Arizona, I can't bet against Tom Brady, Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
I just can't do it.
So my pick is my Super Bowl pick, the Rams. They're going to win. That's the only reason, because I picked them to win a Super Bowl.
And since Trent bet it, don't put money on the Rams.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
I
Trent's
didn't bet
riding this Rams pick because Joey went undefeated last week.
I got to copy Joe. Well, he has the 49ers and I have the Packers, so
Ooh, okay, never mind.
We're different.
So the Buccaneers are 7-1 at home this season. The Rams are traveling coast to coast for this game.
Mm-hmm.
The Buccaneers' only loss at home was to the Saints. And that was the 9-0 game. I'm taking Tampa Bay. I'm not going to bet against Tom Brady in this playoff game. So,
yeah, I would say I'm gonna go with the guy Tom Brady. He's got 12,000 yards in the playoffs passing alone. He has how many Super Bowls wins? Matt Stafford got his first, so he still has his training wheels in the playoffs here. I mean, bet against Tom Brady. I mean, it's just stupid. It's going to be Tom at least until the NFC and then NFC Championship and then go from there. But it's Tom Brady, Tampa Bay.
Did you guys see the Battlefield 2042 ad where, I mean, obviously it's the year 2042, and in Times Square they have an ad for MVP Tom Brady.
It sounds.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That is
right.
funny.
Guy's got some damn witchcraft going on. He's been in the league this damn long.
Back to week 3, I think, is when the Rams and the Buccaneers played this season.
Mm-hmm.
The Rams did get the win by 10. That game was in LA. There were 775 passing yards in that game. Matt Stafford went off 343 yards, 4 touchdowns. Tom Brady had 432 yards and a touchdown. Do you guys think that game will be that offensive this weekend?
Airing it out again? I would love to see it.
Well, after seeing both of them, I mean, they both put up over 30 this last weekend. I see it.
I don't think Tom Brady will be the rushing leader again. He had 14 yards and a touchdown in that first meeting. I don't think that'll happen.
Tom Brady is your rushing leader, you're probably going to lose your game. I don't care how good he is. He's not your supposed to be your running threat.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's no Leonard Fournette, so possible.
Possibly. Then
Yeah.
maybe he's just gonna have to do everything. Maybe he'll play some cornerback too.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I see the Rams are for the year 27.1 points per game, and the Bucks are 29.4. They're high scoring offenses, and both of them are right at about 21, 22 points allowed for the opponent. So it's even. It's a very evenly matched game.
Yeah, I mean the over under is 48.5. I'm gonna fucking hammer that so hard this weekend for
The over. 100%.
for the over on that one.
Oh, these last two games, if you don't do the over, you're stupid.
Agreed.
Both these last two games are going to go off.
I mean, they all could. I mean, with Cincinnati, like how many points they've been putting up, and Joe Burrow with all the passing yards, and then Green Bay, they always seem to score a crap load of points. So,
what's the over for the Chiefs and the Bills?
55 or 54.5?
Yeah, 54.5 right now.
That's it. Wow.
So that is the next game on the slate here. That's the Bills and the Chiefs. That is on CBS at 5:30 on Sunday evening. Chiefs are a 2.5-point favorite. Joey, who do you got?
Man, I am so goddamn pumped for this game, especially after watching both teams this last weekend. Goddamn, both offenses looked awesome. The Bills had almost a perfect game. The Chiefs, after coming back from being down 7-0, they just looked unstoppable. I just can't wait for this fucking game. I'm gonna go with the Bills. I think that they looked like they're on a roll and they got everything clicking at the moment. And Josh Allen he even tried to throw a ball away and threw it for a touchdown. So I'm gonna roll with Josh Allen. I know it's gonna piss a lot of people off around me, but whatever. I'm gonna go with my heart instead of my head.
So according to our sheet, apparently I'm predicting a tie.
Pretty bold there.
Yeah, that's your bold
really
prediction.
Very bold prediction there. I love Kansas City. I love Mahomes. I love Andy Reid. Clark and Bryant, you guys are amazing.
Well,
I have to stick with my Super Bowl pick and go with Buffalo. Buffalo just looks so good right now. And I want Kansas City to win. I just don't think they will. So, Buffalo.
Well, the line just moved within the last couple hours. It dropped from 2.5, and I've seen on MGM, which is the one we usually use, it's down to -1.5 for the Chiefs, or -2 on some of them. So the line has moved within the last couple hours.
Did Jack Stack run out of ribs or something? Is Andy Reid in distress?
Didn't Andy Reid say today he just wants more chocolate cake or something like that?
Yeah.
I love Andy Reid.
He compared being in the Super Bowl being the piece of cake with the chocolate frosting. So
yeah.
When he won the Super Bowl, wasn't he like, okay, I just need to go get some cheeseburgers or something like that?
Oh yeah.
I love that guy.
So Joey and both go with Buffalo, so I'm up.
It hurts too.
next.
I seriously want Kansas City to win, but I'm gonna stick with Buffalo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say that it hurts me. I'm not a huge Chiefs fan, but I do like to root for them, especially watching it around here, especially in the compound and stuff. Everyone here is a big Chiefs fan. Hopefully I'm out of quarantine by then, and I can go watch it with them. But I think Buffalo wins.
If I can't be happy in life, at least Clark and Bryant can be happy. So I want them to be happy.
There we go.
So I'm going to have to pull the old Lee Corso. Not so fast, my friend. No, Kansas City. That's just they looked way too good this past week. In the past, the last half of the season, they've just looked dominant. They looked like the team to beat, and I didn't see anything different last Sunday. So I'm rolling with the Chiefs.
I'm pretty sure the first podcast we ever recorded was literally shitting on how bad the had ruined that defense, because it was historically bad. Not even within range, and then he's got him turned around, and you saw what they did to Big Ben. The only reason it was within 3 touchdowns was because they let up the final whole quarter. Just it was
because they didn't have fireworks.
Yeah, They ran out of fireworks. They didn't have any motivation. No, they just did. At that point, they didn't want to be injured. But with this game, I'm very clearly I'm going to be choosing Kansas City as well. But there is a lot of things that's going on. The reason I bring up that terrible defense that we had was, from the first week that we played the Bills when we were in that historically bad run, we were playing Dan Sorensen, who's kind of a fan favorite. He's the white BYU safety that they play. He was playing 100% of the snaps, and he was literally missing a quarter of the tackles when he was out there. He's been playing a lot less time. We've had Jerick McKinnon, the running back, and also Darrell Williams have really stepped up at the running back position this year. And really that's because of Edwards-Hilaire's injury. So that's kind of from week 3. These are a lot of things that have come up. Mecole Hardman, he's had a lot of different roles that he's tried to play. I think he's kind of settling to what he's doing. Chris Jones and Chartavius Ward, both of them were out the last time they played the Buffalo Bills. We have picked up Melvin Ingram, who's that big pass rusher, which I think the last month you really saw the difference that a guy like that can make on third downs. And then, really, again, end of the day, Allen or Mahomes, I'm taking Mahomes fucking 10 times out of 10.
Buffalo's got the number 1 defense, though.
Going into Arrowhead, man, I would say it's a different. I would say it's going into the playoff atmosphere over there. I've been to a game. It is loud as shit. Your ears are ringing when you leave afterwards. Like I said, there's been a lot of personnel changes. Spags got his head out of his ass after week 6 this year, and we played them week 3. It's kind of like a lot of these rematches that we've seen in these playoffs. They all played basically the first half of the year, week 3, week 5s. And a lot of shit has changed. And honestly, it's hard to beat a team, twice in a year, let alone in the playoffs when, Allen, he had his little bit of exposure last year, but he really kind of struggled in that role. And, this is going to be Mahomes' fourth year or third year. I can't remember. Well, this is going to be pushing for, is this the 4th AFC championship here, Clark? Or is this 3rd?
I think this
4th.
is the
4th, because
they had the one where they went off sides.
Yeah, the offsides versus Tom Brady. Then he's won the next 2 AFC. So again, that's honestly not trying to be like a humble brag. It's just Mahomes has the experience in this playoff atmosphere. Allen's got to take that next step, and I think he could after they had that perfect offensive game. But it's Mahomes and company after how they looked versus the Steelers and how they've looked the last month of the year. I don't know how you go against them, but it should be a good match. Probably the best. Honestly, I'm feeling it's unbiasedly going to be the best game of the weekend.
Is the Jackson Mahomes curse gone?
1-0 in the playoffs against the spread with him there, so we'll keep riding that ride.
Brian's hoping that Jackson Mahomes shows up and does his best TikTok dance.
Yes,
yeah,
for the game.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot has changed inside the Kansas City Chiefs organization since that week 5 matchup when Buffalo, they came into Kansas City and they left with a victory 38-20. Mahomes, he threw 2 interceptions that game. He was also the leading rusher with 61 yards. There's so much that has changed since then. So the Bills were hot then. Mm-hmm. They were 4-1 after that game. I think this is going to be a great game this weekend, but I'm riding with my Chiefs all the way.
So, and I want to bring up another point. And basically last week, I said I had an interview with Adam Thielen's agent, basically by him answering a question on Twitter.
Close enough.
So yay me. But it's about, coaches getting interview requests and that stuff during playoffs. And Leslie Frazier has gotten head coach interviews. I think Diablo has 2, or else he's been requested. I think he's turned down the Vikings until they figure out who their GM is. But he may have done other interviews. But there's a lot going on in their minds too, which the Vikings had with Shermer in the NFC Championship, where they got completely blown out. I think Bieniemy has had requests also. I don't know if he's actually done interviews. So. And I asked Adam Thielen's agent if that was, if that's an issue. And he's basically saying it's physically and mentally impossible to give your best effort at both, meaning the interviews and doing your actual current job. So, Is that going to affect the Bills since both their coordinators are doing it? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
I hate to speak negatively about anyone on the Chiefs, but I mean, it's hard to look at the Chiefs and Eric there on why is he not getting any of these jobs. And I think we talked about it briefly last week on, I think a lot of people look at Nagy. He was supposed to be this protege offensive guru that was underneath Reed. I don't know how much of the responsibility is Reed's play calling versus Bellamy, holding the reins of the offense.
Sounds like Reed has a lot of control over the offense.
I think it's more him than Eric. And it's going to be, I don't know. I think that's kind of what's held him back as well, unfortunately, is Nagy's incompetence, where he's not going to be able to. Because I know he's been the head coach of, like, in college. I think it was Colorado where he got fired.
So was there a bad situation that happened there with him? Because somebody brought that up as that being a mark on his record too.
Very well. I honestly haven't looked too much into it. I know I wouldn't say I know he's been coaching at the college level, and he's what everyone feels is like he's supposedly stuck at the Chiefs right now. But I don't know. Is he stuck at the Chiefs, or does he enjoy looking like the hero here because he has Mahomes running an offense? So
I mean, the only issue that Bieniemy had at Colorado was him using alcohol and sex to lure in recruits.
Yeah, that's NIL now. That's old.
I mean, that doesn't affect the NFL. So I mean, let's just put that under the rug, right?
Yeah, I mean, do the Vikings still have that love boat? I mean, hell, Bellamy, he would fit in perfect up there then.
That's right.
Exactly. Guy likes to have fun. What's wrong with that?
Can I play at Colorado still?
Well, Bieniemy's not there anymore, you doofus.
Yeah, I'm sure you got some eligibility left, Joey.
What's hilarious is Colorado, it was Colorado State or Colorado, whatever, gets caught. Yep. How many other colleges does this go on in?
Not Iowa.
Yeah,
not at all.
I mean, those are just alleged issues. Nothing was confirmed, so
allegedly.
Yeah.
Letterkenny, look it up.
I think we'll leave the Iowa issues off the pod. I don't want to piss off any more people than I already do, because
fuck you, Gary Barta. Fuck you, you idiot. You piece of shit. Fuck you.
Saying all about Gary Barta, not KK Kirk, huh?
Barta's the one that signed him.
True. Yeah. Okay. Real quick, I would say just. Joey, do you, as an Iowa fan, do you feel good? Because Kirk has had that stability and probably earned these last 20 years of being consistently above average to having those few really good years, these 10-4 like this, or the 11-win seasons. How do you feel about them? How long did they extend until 29, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how do you really feel, though?
It's fucking stupid. It is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Program. I fucking hate it, and I hate that Brian is going on the coattails also and getting extended. It's so fucking dumb. This guy is $6 million a year for never. Well, 6 million base. Hold on, it's 6 million base. 500,000 if he wins so many games, and 500,000 if he wins another bunch of shit. Anyway, stupid. His buyout is $6 million a year too, which is even more unfathomable. Like in no world should a buyout be a total salary. That is fucking dumb. Fuck you, Barta. Fuck you.
Who is Kirk Ferentz's agent? Because holy shit, he is
Gary Barta.
Gary
Barta. I hate the whole situation because I don't want to hate Kirk. Like, they have had good seasons. I don't want to shit on 10-win seasons. I don't want to shit on good seasons.
Mm-hmm.
But he is not worth that. He's not worth $6-7 million a year. He's not worth that. There are other coaches in the nation winning that many games that don't make that much money. And for some reason, just because of longevity. And then we signed a fucking 65-year-old person to another 7 years. Like, he's just going to joke us, and it's going to be terrible. And we don't have the fucking assistants to back that up like Joe Pa did.
I think that's the biggest thing I was going to try and bring up was just he's
Oh,
loyal.
and I need to clarify. I
Yeah.
don't want all the assistants that Joe Pa did. I don't want Sandusky. No, that's
Good,
stupid.
So what we heard was you loved Jerry Sandusky.
yeah.
No.
Joey, very anti-Sandusky. That's very brave of you, Joey.
Thanks. I
Is
just
the
want to clear
universe
that up.
Tough
that
stance to take.
I'm
Are
not
they-
saying that I wanted all of Joe Pa's assistants. I'm saying I wish that we had the tree of Joe Pa's assistants to
Yeah.
take over after Kirk dies on the sideline like Joe Pa did. Is what I want. Nothing to do with the outside scandals.
I would say the way it's going right now, man. I mean, they're going to be wheeling him in on a walker out there, or wheeling him on a wheelchair, and he's going to be doing that. But I'm trying to find the latest salaries here, man. I mean, that's easily 7 million. That like top 5 in the nation.
No, I want to.
Top 10.
Maybe. Hold on.
Are they really that desperate to throw away money? Because I can give them my account number.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think I would almost, Joey, would you have felt better if they said we're going to give him the same extensions, $7 million until 2029, but you have to fire your son? Would you have felt at least better about that?
No, because Kirk will only control everything,
Mhm.
and it doesn't matter who he brings. I mean, I think Brian is probably going to get the longest leash out of everybody that you
Yeah.
could bring in to be under Kirk, but at the same time, he's still going to control fucking everything, and I don't like that either because it hampers our offense so much. And yeah I don't know. I feel like I could go on for.
I feel
All
like
right, so Ryan Day at Ohio State is going to make $500,000 more than Kirk Ferentz. Are you? I should have looked at that. Oh my god.
Nope. Well, I think we should move on from Iowa talk before Joey has a brain aneurysm over there.
That is just so. All right, so he's going to be 12th in the nation.
Yeah. So, well, not top 10. So, kind of like the football team.
So wait, how many million is he making a year? 7 or is it 7?
7. It's 6, but incentives are almost guaranteed.
Okay, so it's 6. All right.
His buyout will be 7, or his buyout will be 6, but his guaranteed salary is 6, and incentives are like super easy ones to get. So it'll be 7.
The boys from the Heartland will be right back.
Well, do we want to get to some bold predictions now that we've gone over Kirk Ferentz?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to bring that up, and then Brian.
Oh no, I did.
You
wanted to
weren't,
hear
but
your
somebody
reaction.
else was.
Yeah.
Fed the beast.
All right. Well, let's hit some bold predictions here. Bryant, we'll let you.
I was just gonna say, you want me to be the boldest since I picked the worst last week? Is that what this is about?
That's exactly what this is about.
I feel like you're just bullying me now. Now that I'm actually at the bottom, you're
Brian,
taking always down.
since I got mine last week, I know what mine is. If you want me to go, You want me to go?
I'm not gonna take a man's pick. You can pick the same one again.
Okay.
This is my
No. I'm not doing that one. I know that much.
This is going to be my joke one. Tennessee gets the most penalties called against them, or Cincinnati has the fewest called against them. I'm deciding between that. No, I think how's this for a bold pick? All the games are going to go under after we just talked about how great all of their offenses are. How about that?
That's a good one.
That's a great bold pick. I like
Yeah.
it.
You're gonna have to type out all those underlines though. So
Yeah, I'm just going to type out all unders. We'll figure it out on next Tuesday.
no, that line can move from now. So we got to get it right now.
Oh, okay.
That's
If that's
true.
what you mean, yeah, I can do that while you guys are doing your bold picks then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clark, move your cursor so I can see what I'm typing.
Ah,
Thank you.
Jesus. All right. Well, you're going for all unders. You know what? I'm gonna specify the game. I'm calling for Bills Chiefs. I'm gonna say that game is over 60 points.
All right.
The current over is at 54.5. I'm saying it's over 60.
I want you to be even bolder. What do you think like 65 points going to be Chiefs 34-31 or something?
I was thinking about going 65, but I'm gonna stay with 60.
Okay.
Over 60.
It's got to be 61 then.
At least 61.
All right. So
All right,
I'm up next. My bold prediction. I'm going to be a homer. Alan Lazard, 2 touchdowns.
All right.
Nice.
Is he their number one receiver? No, they got Devontae.
He is their number 1 receiver. Devontae
Yeah.
Adams is a scrub.
I think he's actually like number 3 on the depth chart. But
No,
He might.
I honestly, I hardly watch Packers, so I didn't know.
No,
I don't know.
He's like number 2 or 3.
Has Valdez-Scantling
Scantling's
been-
probably number 2, then Lazard, yeah.
Mhm. All right.
But Lazard had 2 touchdowns our last game.
he did.
Yeah.
I think that's not too bold. I like
keep
that
it
one being
rolling.
very specific and it's very Iowa State pro. So I love that one, Trent.
Ryan?
Me. I'm gonna
Yes,
go.
sir.
I'm going to say Derrick Henry has over 200 yards rushing,
Ooh.
but Tennessee loses by 14.
Damn.
Jeez.
So first off, why the fuck would you have said you know what mine is gonna be, and then you don't pick Mahomes, you son of a bitch? What the fuck?
So yeah, that's me.
So there is a chance that Derrick Henry doesn't play. You know that, right?
He's playing. It's playoffs. He's doing it. They're the number 1 seed. He's gonna fight through. He was
I agree.
full contact today.
I agree with
I saw
Ryan.
that.
Yep.
Mhm. Okay. I'm just
That
saying.
might be the boldest of picks, knowing that he might not play.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm going bold.
All right. Well, since I already got my big dick out and took all of the underdogs for the week, I'm going to go George Kittle, 2 touchdowns and 100 yards.
Ooh, nice.
100, 100.
Yep.
Nice. I like it. How many pancake blocks is he going to have? Since that was very important to what he did last week.
They don't keep track, but I bet 700.
700.
700.
Wow.
They're going to run that many plays.
Yep.
I like it, Joey. I thought your bold prediction was going to be like they sign Noah Fant in the middle of the week here, and they bring in another Iowa tight end, and they just win by like 50 or something.
No, I wish they would. Then they could go 2 tight end sets and just dominate the league, but whatever.
Yeah. That'd just be too unfair for everyone, though. You know,
Mhm.
There's the fun in that in the NFL.
Exactly. You get it.
All those damn Iowa tight ends that are all making a huge difference on their team.
Mm-hmm.
They'd have to compete for that 1 catch a game, though.
Yeah. They're going to be fighting Jimmy G or Trey Lance or whoever the hell else is passing a.
Yeah, they're going
for him
to be
there.
pulling the stone cold stunner on Debo Samuel, so he's not getting any touchdowns.
You know, if they played for KC, they could be throwing for touchdowns, Joey.
So hey, I know our next topic is the coaches list. I wanted to kind of interrupt before that.
Yeah, that's fine.
The Vikings announced right at the beginning of this pod here that they just finished their interview for GM with the Chiefs executive director of player personnel, Ryan Poles. And in my opinion, he should be the top candidate, in my opinion. So that was cool to see that they got him the interview.
I've heard he's had a lot of other connections to Minnesota as well. I think, didn't he work there previously?
You know what? I couldn't tell you that,
Yeah.
but he is my favorite.
I'll be honest,
of the
I
list
bet-
that they've done.
I bet you they sign him. I mean, that's going to be an upgrade for him. Why not at that
yeah.
point if you're him?
Yeah, but I think they've interviewed, I want to say six people so far. So there's a long list, but
Learning from Veach, what better could there be?
Mm-hmm. I didn't think, golly, who was right before Veach, the GM for the Chiefs, who went to the Packers, I believe, after that. Do you remember?
Shit, no, I don't remember.
I would say he was the guy who brought in Smith, and he really changed the whole culture and bringing in Andy Reid. And I didn't think we could do any better after him. And yeah, Veach has just stepped in, and that was like last year when it was like we had like $150 left on our cap, and all of a sudden he finagles the numbers around to sign Chris Jones and sign Mahomes to $500 million and everything else. So. No, it makes sense that they'd be trying to bring in everyone else that has been in this system and see how we've run things.
His whole NFL career has been with Kansas City
Nice. Well,
since 2009.
I would say it should be a good signing. I would say if they bring him in, and then honestly, it's probably more if they sign him. Are they trying to get in the be the front runners for Eric?
It looks like they're also competing with the Giants and the Bears for that GM position with Ryan Poles.
Yeah.
Do you think that the Giants and Bears are more appealing than Minnesota?
Oh, hell no.
That's what I was just gonna say. I think if you have to choose those three, Vikings, Giants, Bears, you're gonna choose
Oh
Vikings.
my!
I honestly believe of all the openings for GM and head coach,
Thanks,
Minnesota is the top spot. And that's I guess that might be my homerism coming through, but they just seem like they have the best roster and the best situation at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So do we want to hit some of these open job talk here in the NFL?
Yeah, we can do it. So, I mean, there's a bunch of, there's 6 or 7 head coaching positions: Vikings, Bears, Miami, Texans, Las Vegas,
Giants,
Denver Giants. So there's,
Jacksonville.
I
And
did
so
some
some
looking
yeah, go ahead.
real quick on the GM because it was bugging me who was the general manager in KC before Brett Veach. John Dorsey. Why didn't we know that?
Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't
Yes.
think of it. I just blanked right before that. So thank
All right.
you.
Continue, good sir.
But yeah, so some of the top names for head coaches, you've got Bieniemy out of the Chiefs, their OC, which we've talked about. Who knows how much control he really has? Todd Bowles, the Buccaneers DC, he did a head coaching stint with the Jets. It didn't go too well, but you can find success a second time. I've heard the name Jim Caldwell thrown out a few times. I
Me
don't know.
too.
I don't know of anybody that's actually interviewed him or requested an interview.
No, I haven't either. And I don't know. I like Jim Caldwell. Don't get me wrong. Another Iowa tie. He just kind of stands there and is super stoic and doesn't do shit either. Jim
Yeah.
Caldwell, it's kind of a weird person in the NFL to me, but whatever.
Yeah. There's Brian Dabble. Oh, go ahead, Clark.
The Bears interviewing Jim Caldwell.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah.
There's Brian Dabble, the Bills OC. He, like I said, he turned down the Vikings earlier until they know their GM situation. I would like to see him. He's has he made Josh Allen really good. Leslie Frazier, he's had a few interviews, one with the Bears. I'm really hoping the Bears get him. Maybe he'll be good a second time around. But what's funny is he had one when he was the Vikings head coach. The Vikings had a 32 ranked defense. So I don't know what happens between being head coach in DC, but he's made strides. But it'd be fun to see him in Chicago, I think. Nathaniel Hackett, the Packers offense coordinator. I know the Vikings interviewed him over the weekend. So have a few other teams. That's one of those things. Same thing with Byron Leftwich, which is another big name. Is it the OC or is it the QB that you have working for the OC? That's a tough one. So yeah, Leftwich, Mike McDaniel, Josh McDaniels, Kellen Moore. Obviously, I saw the Vikings request an interview with Raheem Morris today, the Rams defensive coordinator. And then Dan Quinn's been thrown around along with Doug Peterson.
Mm-hmm. I will say experience as a Falcons fan with Raheem Morris, also very good defensive coordinator, also a person that will let his people under him actually coach and make decisions. So that would also be a good one for you guys.
And like I said earlier, texting with you guys, I wouldn't mind a DC going, but we've had that the last few times now with Zim and Childress, gosh, I can't remember that. And Leslie Frazier. And maybe it's because we went through 6 offensive coordinators in the last 7 years, but I just want to go with someone who's offensive minded, because you're gonna see a lot more. If you find a good offensive coordinator that's really changing how things go, they seem to get swept up way faster than any defensive coordinators do. So it'd be fun to see an offense coordinator really let the Vikings offense shine and really open the playbook up, but I don't know what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather have a one-hit wonder offensive coordinator head coach come in and just light shit up like crazy for 1 to 2 years? Or would you rather have, like what Pete Carroll did, come in and have a great defensive coordinator with an offensive coordinator that's also very good and have both sides of your ball be good and have a like mini dynasty go on?
If you have somebody that can at least get one Super Bowl, I'll take whatever.
No,
I don't care
okay.
I don't care if it's a 1 or 2 year stretch of awesomeness and you get one in between there.
Mhm.
I mean, Vikings are one of the longest living franchises and have 0 Super Bowls under their name.
That's
So
true.
whoever can give you that championship underneath, I will take whatever.
Okay.
I mean, why do you want to destroy history? It should stay at 0 forever.
Them and the Bills.
Yeah.
I think they're both 0-4 in Super Bowl wins. Super
Yep.
Bowl.
Did you say Super Bowl?
Super Bowl appearance.
That Okaneen hit is hitting Ryan right now.
I'm on H2O right now, guys.
Sounds like they played the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Trent, any thoughts for the Vikings?
I'm kind of the same as you. I don't care if they were to get a defensive-minded coach. But a change of pace would be great with an offensive-minded coach. But if you get the defensive-minded coach, just please let the offensive coordinator run the show.
And can we stay away from the nepotism too with this team?
Yeah.
Between the Zimmers and the Kubiaks and the Turners, we've had every father-son combo possible on this team.
Oh, do you want the Ferences? You can have them. I will give them to you. Please take them.
No, we
Joey will
don't
start the
want that.
GoFundMe right now to buy them out at Iowa.
Yes.
Another one for me, Josh McDaniels. The Patriots, Belichick is amazing, but there haven't been any successful coaches come out from him.
Yeah, it's hard to argue it. You haven't seen any of them really succeeding past. I mean, Vrabel beat him beat Belichick, but I mean,
yeah.
So one game doesn't dictate the whole thing, though.
Well, Nick Saban's NFL career wasn't too great.
Nick Saban, known terrible coach.
Yeah.
So I heard a rumor last week about the Vikings looking into Lane Kiffin, and I just looked up Lane Kiffin coaching rumors. Lane Kiffin is going to make $500,000 more a year than Kirk Ferentz. God damn it!
Holy shit!
Sorry, I don't mean to keep bringing that up, but God damn it!
Well, honestly, he's doing what Ole Miss needs at that point, and they're competing with Bama in the league. I can't remember the game. I think it was within 2 touchdowns, but if you're Ole Miss and your last coach was Hugh Freeze and you have that huge recruiting violations and you still have the on-field success, but if that's the last thing, if you got Lane Kiffin in there and he's just known for having an unstoppable offense and bringing that type of culture in and you have double-digit wins, I think you're going to take that 10 times out of 10. And you're going to, in the SEC, you're going to willingly pay that $8 million a year for it, or 7.5, whatever it is.
Right. So I wasn't trying to turn this into a whole college football thing, but they did sign him to a contract extension until 2025, but he's still being rumored to Minnesota. Crazy.
Do you even think Lane Kiffin would want to go back to the NFL, though?
Yeah. Have you ever heard that guy talk? All he wants to do is be the best that he can and just be the man on top and be the best in the world at something. Like, that dude is so arrogant. Of course he wants to go to the NFL and try and win a championship.
I mean, I guess it worked for Pete Carroll, but there's not many people that works for.
Oh, 100%. I agree with you. I do think that if Harbaugh went back to the NFL, he would be a great NFL coach. But
I think Kiffin just stays. I mean, he's jumped around long enough, went to USC, the NFL, FAU. He's gone to every freaking, he was an understudy as Saban. I think at this point, he's finally the head coach. He's finally making the big bucks again. They love him there. Why not just stay at that point? Ole Miss, you're going to bowl games every year. You get double-digit wins every once in a while. They're going to keep you forever as long as you're competing in the SEC like he is.
I think the Vikings need to seriously consider Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not, dude?
Oh, I think you left one of the top coaching candidates off the list, Matt Campbell.
Mhm.
Yes, Campbell's
Yeah.
definitely up there.
He
Okay.
already accepted the position
Everywhere.
along with the Bears. So it's an easy commute between these to coach. On the
And I
same
guess
Yeah, yeah.
one I did leave out was Brian Flores, and I don't know what to think about him.
I don't know. It sounds like his was more personality difference between him and management and down the Dolphins. So I don't know. Maybe he makes it work. I mean, hell, it's kind of hard to gauge it. He won 7 games in a row, but he also lost 7 games in a row, and the 7 wins were all against, no offense, shitty opponents. So how do you gauge that? Is he really that good, or was it just inferior opponents at that point?
Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of stuff going on in the locker room too between him and players. So
Yep.
I mean, we just lost a coach like that. I don't want to get that again.
And say it's kind of bad whenever you have a coach telling your starting quarterback that you wish you had somebody else.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I don't think that's a good way to lead. So it's not a good sign that that's one of the rumors that come out of Miami. So
Yeah, and the guy that you wanted has 20 pending charges against him.
yeah,
Mhm.
I'm really hoping Flores ends up in Houston. Like that is just sweet karma.
Mhm.
It's possible.
If Flores ends up in Minneapolis, we just need to schedule 17 games against teams with quarterbacks with a O in their last name. So undefeated right there.
Rodgers.
Yes.
Oh God.
never
Oh
never
God.
losing to Aaron
Mhm.
Rodgers again.
Yep. Ooh, Justin Fields though.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Lose to them every time.
Yeah, not good.
Who knows who Detroit's quarterback will be?
Yeah.
You'd be happy if it'd be Goff.
Yeah. Goff.
Yep.
Keep him there.
Andy Dalton. I think he won the NFC North for like a decade.
I think so
I think
too.
so.
Book it. It's happening.
Mhm.
Flores
Yeah.
to Minnesota.
Okay.
All right. All right. Well, let's move on to some gamer talk.
So there's a bit of news that came out this morning.
Dun, dun, dun.
My favorite game owner, publisher, whatever you want to call Microsoft, purchased Activision Blizzard for $68.7 billion.
Mhm.
So anything that was under the Activision umbrella is now owned by Microsoft. Big
Do you want to
acquisition.
give some examples of what was under Activision?
So some of the big time games that are under that umbrella are Call of Duty, which
Yep.
you know,
Yep, that's
may or
probably the
may not
biggest
have heard of that one. I don't know. One of my fun franchises that I got into on the last game was Diablo. They've had a new game in production, looking at possibly 2022 release. So really looking forward to that. An old time MMO that some people may or may not have tried out, World of Warcraft. It's been around for like 20 years.
Mhm.
StarCraft, a little lesser known, and then a recent kind of battle royale type game or MOBA. I don't know what it is exactly. I've never played it. Overwatch. So those are the biggest titles that are under that umbrella.
So Clark,
There's
there's
a lot more.
there's a couple more that I saw too.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, and then like mobile wise, there's Candy Crush as well.
Yep.
But
Biggest game out.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Crash Bandicoot's one of them,
Oh shit, yeah.
along with Spyro.
Oh my gosh.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Tony Hawk, yes. And then I don't know if you has anyone ever played the From Software games? So like the Dark Souls, Demon Souls, whatever.
Mm-mm.
They're the most unforgiving games you'll ever play, and you'll just
Mhm.
ruin every controller you own and possibly shoot your TV. It's ridiculous. But they had Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, which is from Software game that they published. So that's also an IP that's under their name.
Nice.
So basically Microsoft is trying to create a monopoly, which is cool.
Well, I think right now it feels like they're kind of, because we in the group chat we're talking about, they're trying to compete with, PlayStation, who has the God of War and Spider-Man games, and they have all those exclusives that are only for PlayStation. Speaking of like exclusive gaming, they've been ahead for years on that type of stuff.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And this is less than a year since they've bought out Bethesda, which has Doom and Fallout and just so many different games. So all of these are going to be first parties. I don't see them making Xbox or Call of Duty an exclusive to Xbox. They're going to lose a lot of money off of that if they do. But then again, they might sell a shit ton more consoles too. So it's interesting. But if
Or
all
they might just make it PC and Xbox then, and just PlayStation out.
Yeah, but I mean, if they put all this stuff on Game Pass day one, boy, is that going to be amazing for us.
Yep.
One of Microsoft's biggest pushes is to have all their games available on all their platforms, which is both PC and Xbox. So if there's a Microsoft game out there, there's not much of a chance it's going to be Xbox only. It's probably going to also be on PC.
Yeah.
So you always have that opportunity. And what I love about Microsoft is usually you buy it in one location, you have it in both locations. So I really like their model for how they treat the consumer when it comes to those games. With their development, I know Call of Duty was one of the worst. You had to spend the extra $10 on a game to have it on the newer next gen console. I hate that. And Microsoft, their kind of mentality with next gen rollover has always been, hey, it's a free upgrade. You just buy the game like you always do. And you got a new console? Guess what? This game works just like that. And you're going to get download whatever next gen update you need to bring you up to speed. So I'm glad that they got Call of Duty just for that reason. I can now look forward to those next releases without being, God, they're going to probably jack the price up to $80 now or something. So,
and so you have with Game Pass these, the Bethesda ones, but there's also EA. Was it EA Play, Clark? I believe.
EA is, yes, I think part of the Ultimate package.
Yeah, so you get those day one on Game Pass if you have the Ultimate package. But I also saw just in the last month that Ubisoft Plus is being put with Game Pass too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so
damn.
Yeah, and so that's been within the, and so the new Rainbow Six Extraction, is it Extraction or Extinction, whatever it is,
Well,
that's coming to Game Pass day one.
Yeah, I saw that it was coming out. I didn't even make that connection. Holy shit.
Yeah, so Microsoft is just, I mean, they're literally trying to do Netflix for video games, and it's freaking awesome.
Hell yeah, man.
I know this weekend somebody had asked the Xbox CEO, Phil Spencer, hey, we hear PlayStation's coming with a subscription service like Game Pass, and he's like, yeah, we figured they'd kind of copy us, and then 2 days later, we're just gonna buy Activision, the biggest freaking game out there the last 10 years. So it's huge. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, the whole Call of Duty corner of the market is just amazing for them.
It'll never be touched. I don't know if there will ever be a franchise that will be as big as that.
Yeah, I remember everyone thought that about Halo back in the day, and then Call of Duty came out, and it's taken over. So cool.
Anything else on the gamer talk there?
Well, let's bring back the Kinect. Come on.
We need an update from Joey.
How's Xbox Connect?
Yes.
What'd you say?
I said we need an update from Joey. How has 2K been?
I lost 2 games in a row tonight. I'm playing the Milwaukee Bucks, which is like a franchise team on 2K for my team, and I beat the 2 All-Star teams. Well, the Bucks are a combination of the 2 All-Star teams, so I'm really struggling to get past them because I don't have enough good players in my packets yet. So I got to win some 3-on-3 matchups, get some more players in. Right now, I got George Gervin and Kobe Bryant holding up my second team, and they're not pulling out what I need to do. So, not great.
Nice.
I know that means nothing to anybody, but whatever.
Well, you mentioned Halo there, and actually, when I had all my family in town a couple weekends ago,
Mhm.
I've got 2 Xbox consoles. I got my old Xbox One. I have it set up downstairs, and I've got my Xbox Series X upstairs. And my younger brother had the idea, is like, can we set those up on a LAN network? You know,
Mhm.
get a little bit of Halo action going on with the nieces and nephews. Like, maybe.
Hell yeah.
Sure as shit, we had it rolling. We got some Halo 2 multiplayer action going with four downstairs, 4 upstairs. Introducing the youngsters to a little bit of a LAN party. It was a good time.
That's fun as shit. Good work.
Yep.
Did you? I would say this is going to sound weird out of context, but how many of your nieces and nephews did you teabag because you dominated? That's
all of them at least once.
That's how we all grew up when we were younger. Is you get embarrassed by someone, hit you with a rocket, you get a couple teabags in the face, and you learn to get good, kid. So
Yeah.
I hope you taught him.
So my brother Nolan, we were playing one map, and it had the old invisible pickup right in the middle of the map.
Mm-hmm.
He got that at the start of the map, and I don't think I saw him once the entire rest of the match. Like, he ran around and shotgun or swords to the back of everybody. It was
my guy.
ridiculous.
Yes, good for him.
He was terrorizing my nieces. It was hilarious.
We can go on to everybody's new favorite segment here, the Movie Minute. I'll step away.
Go get you a dart there, Trent.
Yeah.
Go walk, Turbo.
Change some laundry. Go to bed.
Well, do we want to start with Boba Fett, or I think Joey might have watched
some Boba.
Yeah, let's do Boba first.
All right, so this is the spoiler warning. Step away if you need, or just turn down the volume for about 10 minutes. So, everybody up to speed?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I would say I really
started off.
This was really a good one. There's a lot more action, like I said. That both Mandalorian. You feel like this is like, and I don't mean this to sound negative, but this just feels like Mandalorian 2.0, where it's like, I have this big overarching goal. Well, here's a small menial task I can do in the meantime. But this one at least picked up on the, not like super violent, but all of a sudden he has this flashback, and then he's dealing with I'm just gonna Black Chewbacca. I'm sorry, I don't know what his actual name is, but he's dealing with Black Chewbacca. He's fighting everyone.
Black Krastan.
Thank you. Krastan. He's dealing with Black Krastan. They get him in the Sarlacc pit, and then they actually you see the Hutts at the end bring in the Rancor as a tribute, and he releases them. So by the end of the series they're gonna bring in Black Chewbacca again. So I really enjoyed this episode. It's just really one of those. Again, you can kind of feel it where everything's slowly growing, and they're not really respecting him as the overlord like apparently Jabba was out there. So I don't know. This episode, like I said, first 2 episodes I really wasn't too keen on. They had some good moments. This one, it's really starting. Okay, now you've seen 3 hours of this going on, and it's all starting to grow and build in, obviously, for this closing in on the end of the season here.
Yeah, I find it interesting how they're kind of introducing all the different crime syndicates. So far, we have Boba Fett. He's taken over Jabba's territory, which was the Hutt family. So they're introduced to us early. And surprisingly, in this season, the Hutt twins show up and like, all right, we're out. Peace. Right. Here's a Rancor. Good riddance. We advise you leave as well.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what the shit? Like, I thought the whole Hutt, battle was going to be kind of going throughout the season, but they're just like, peace out. So it's kind of like, well, what's going to happen now? And so there's actually, a few different large crime syndicates out there. One of them you kind of heard about in the movie Solo with Crimson Dawn. And the one that they brought up in this one, you kind of saw some of that in the animated series Clone Wars. the Pikes.
Yeah,
So-
I was wondering if those were brought up before because they seem like they're gonna kind of be badass in this.
Yeah, so I know they were pretty badass in Clone Wars. I'm
Okay.
curious to see how they play it out here in Boba Fett, to see how it goes. I'm really excited for where this is going.
I really enjoy the like teenage cast-off crew, like the cyborg group that they got going on. I don't know what they're called,
Yeah.
but they're pretty damn cool. I really enjoyed that so far, and how Boba was getting attacked by the Wookiee, and then all of a sudden they just show up and like start whooping ass too. So cool stuff.
So I'm gonna take the opposite and say I hated this episode. Hated it.
Oh,
The first half was just fine, but you get the cyberpunk kids on these bright frickin' scooters on a slow speed chase through town. I thought that was just ridiculously stupid. You have Black Wookiee
wait,
coming
you
in.
haven't even had a kid yet. How are you a curmudgeon grandpa already?
Don't worry about it.
I also thought that the high speed, I'm using air quotes right now because it you could see the lacking budget.
It was so terrible. I will agree.
It ruined the episode for me.
That
And
was,
then you have the Black Wookiee sneaking in, and instead of just killing Boba, oh hey, I'm going to give you a hug here, and just wake everyone up, and it's just stupid. And so here's the interesting thing to me is the person that did episode 1 and 3 was Robert Rodriguez, who he's got a pretty dang good resume. He's had one of my favorites from Dusk Till Dawn, but he's had Grindhouse, Machete, all these different type of movies like that, Sin City, and then he's also done Spy Kids and Shark Boy and Lava Girl, whatever. And so Disney must have said, okay, I know you've done some awesome things, but we want you to make the lamest Spy Kids type deal as possible for Boba Fett. So episode 2 I thought was great. That was non-Robert Rodriguez. Episode 1 was so, and like I said, that end of episode 3 ruined it for me. Episode 4 is being done by Bryce Dallas Howard, who did a couple great episodes for The Mandalorian. So I will definitely be curious to see how that is.
So you said Rodriguez did Machete and all these other movies. Is that how they got Danny Trejo in this episode?
Probably, yes. Which also, I forgot about that. That took me out of it too. Why is Danny Trejo just standing in the Star Wars universe?
He's the Rancor trainer. Come on.
It took me out of it. Like I said, the first half I thought was pretty fascinating, but then there are just a couple things that I just hated for this episode.
I was really disappointed they didn't put him in a loincloth like the old Rancor trainer.
That's what kind of sucks, because Danny Trejo, he is well-known actor, but like when he was in Breaking Bad, you're just like, that's Danny Trejo. Like you said, it has that element of taking you out.
El
like,
Tortuga.
Yeah.
And I like Danny Trejo. I have nothing against him. I enjoy the hell out of him, but it just when you have a huge franchise like Star Wars and you put him in the middle of it, it just one thing doesn't fit the other.
Yeah. It's like anytime a movie casts Daniel Radcliffe, you think Harry Potter. I mean, until
see he's going to be a Weird Al biopic.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for that. That's weird enough where, like I said, maybe it'll get him out of that. And he's done plenty of other stuff, like on TBS. It's an anthology. I cannot remember the name of it. And he picks the weirdest movies because I think he's like, I need everything to get away from the Harry Potter image. Like Guns Akimbo is a pretty interesting movie. It's not going to win an Oscar, but it's a weird enough movie if you ever have time. Guns Akimbo, I think it's on Amazon. I'd recommend, but yeah, Trejo in that role, and he didn't do bad. It's just like that's Danny Trejo saying, "We'll train this Rancor now,"
Yep. So yeah, I really like to see what Bryce Dallas Howard does with episode 4. I hope it grips me a little more than The Mandalorian, I guess, or as much as The Mandalorian.
I was gonna say more than The Mandalorian.
As much.
You're asking for a lot.
Yeah. So I would say, Joe. I would say with the only other thing, unless anyone's got anything else on Boba Fett, I would say Joy, you're finally slowly getting caught up on these Marvel movies. What'd you think of Black Widow?
Yeah, so I am basically caught up now. Black Widow was, to me, under the same kill as, or cloth, or whatever it's called, as Ragnarok. Like, it was super funny. And the
Mhm.
banter back and forth with Natasha and her sister was pretty fucking good. I enjoyed the shit out of that movie. Um, David Harbour's character was whatever. I don't know. Basically, anyone that played any part of the Red Room was kind of dull and stupid to me.
Mhm.
But the rest of the movie was pretty good. Good action. Scarlett Johansson's always good to watch on the screen. So I really like Black Widow.
Yeah, the villain it was a little underwhelming, especially I mean, and it develops through the whole story. I know it's supposed to be the big reveal, but
Mhm.
it just and I think a lot of it has come from, and I know Ryan spoke about it, is once you get to Endgame and you've had this big chapter of 3 phases worth of movies, and you've built up this big bad and defeated them. Now you've kind of got to build up from the bottom, and now you've got these villains that aren't the big bad Thanos. But even then, even these TV series, they've had good villains in them.
Mhm.
Just Black Widow just didn't. I didn't like the villain. It was enough of a movie where it pushed the points that it wanted to, and kind of continuing on the story. But I don't know.
Yeah. And I also watched Eternals the night before, and it was okay. I did not like how they basically just kind of want to save Earth just because they helped defeat Thanos. But then the rest of like the Celestials and stuff were gonna, I don't know. It was a whole thing that I did not really care for. Eternals was kind of dumb in my
I
opinion.
heard a
but-
lot of negative things about it.
It's just not the quippy back and forth. It's a different Marvel movie. I rewatched it recently too, and there's a lot of stuff that I didn't enjoy. But but it's also building on to that, because it's hard to, with like, if you're looking at it, the whole Marvel thing. If Thanos is your big bad, you have to develop another big celestial style, which was that Aramesh or whatever the hell his name is.
Mhm.
You have to develop another big bad like that. So you almost need a movie that might not have been the greatest, and they were taking different creative fronts on that. I
Mhm.
know what she was pushing for, but you have to create, like, okay, now here's this next big bad. He took all the Eternals away, and he's making his judgment now to come back to Earth. And surprise, he's probably going to try and destroy the world. You can see where the big bad's going to be coming from now. So
Yeah, and I get that. But so to me, the Eternals, and they made a joke about, well, someone should go lead the Avengers now, and the guy that should be Superman or whatever, Icarus, was joking like, "Oh, I could do it." Well, to me, none of them had a power that was better than literally any of the Avengers, other than Black Widow, who is just a human that has been trained very, very well.
Mhm.
Everyone else on the Avengers is a super fucking person. Or they're super
I don't
rich.
know that I would say Hawkeye's a super person. He's really good.
You're
with
right.
the
You're right.
bow
He's
and
a
arrow.
great guy.
I forgot about Hawkeye. But yeah, but like Thor, Hulk, I mean, Iron Man could do
They're not
everything.
gods.
But they could do everything that the Eternals did. Like, to me, they were making this very, very godlike person be very separate from how powerful the Eternals were. But the Eternals weren't that powerful compared to like the Avengers. So I don't the separation of powers is very on how they want us to know and think about how powerful these people are.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of is just so one didn't take over. Like, eventually they all connected, because if they all would have had that one power, then they would have just stopped anything that was going on. They separated enough. You know what I'm saying? They separated enough where it could. That's the only thing I can think of. But otherwise, I know what you're getting at with it, and I kind of agree.
Right, and and this will get annoying for listeners too, is I'm very much, I want to know what the rules are and what I'm playing with. Like, I want to know who is powerful in these universes. And so for me to watch a show where there's this all-powerful thing that created everything. And then he created these other things to take care of his business, but they aren't as powerful as other things that were created on the side by him. It threw me off. I just did not like that. But I also do like how Jon Snow's character in that whole thing is probably going to become super fucking awesome. So, yeah.
Yeah, enough to look forward to.
Mhm.
Mahershala Ali was glimpsed at or spoiler alert at the end. Sorry, I'm trying to say my words here, but he was spoiled in the end. He was the one asking him if he was really ready to take on on that sword. So
Right.
Does his character know anything in the Eternals, or does he know nothing?
I think he knows nothing. Jon Snow.
Hey, question for you guys. This is going away from them a little bit, but it's still Marvel. Any idea how they're doing Black Panther 2 with Chadwick dying?
I think they're gonna go into Lahedi Wright, the Shuri actress. She was. They're trying to make a big controversy about her being anti-vax, but it sounds like she's gonna take on the mantle, and I'm sure by the end of it, there's gonna be a different Black Panther. It'll be interesting how they adjust into it if there's going to be an in-universe death or how they actually go about it.
Okay. Yeah, because I know they weren't planning on replacing him or anything, so.
Mm-hmm.
In other Marvel news, there was a trailer that came out in the past couple days. I'm wondering if anybody else has seen it. Moon Knight?
Yeah.
I think this looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got Oscar Isaac. He's the lead in this. He's previously known from the last Star Wars trilogy, which some people might have a bad taste because of that. He was also in Dune, which I thought was fantastic. I like the kind of dark side of this, with him having some psychotic type issues. So I'm really curious where this one's going to go.
Mm-hmm. Well, I haven't read any of the comics, but from what I've read on, and seen videos on, Moon Knight's kind of like a schizophrenic, and that's where that kind of comes from. But no, I would say, would say his name, Isaac Pascal. Sorry, these
Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac, thank you. Sorry, these drinks are hitting a little too hard here this late. But I would say he was an Ex Machina too. He's a great actor. I think it's going to be awesome. I've watched every Marvel TV series so far, and I think they're going to do a bang up job. I mean, every one of them has hit exactly how they need to.
Anything else to add to the movie minute?
I'm good.
What are your thoughts on all this, Trent?
Yeah, it sounds good. I've seen none of this. So
yeah, Trent avoided coming to Missouri just so he wouldn't have to watch any Star Wars.
Yeah, didn't make the trip. So no Star Wars for me. So let's we can wrap this thing up again. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out with us on the Fun Cast. We enjoy doing it. So hope you enjoy listening, and let us know what you want to hear us talk about. And check out all the socials. Drop in the DMs. Joey, how can they get a hold of us?
Look us up, Twitter and Instagram at Heartland Pulse. Find us on Facebook and YouTube. Search Pulse of the Heartland. And hear us on all the major platforms: Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio. And if you can't find us on those and are hearing it via a friend, let us know and we'll hit you up with that anchor link. And that's all I can ask for. Please spread the word. Let us know how we're doing. Let your friends know how we're doing.
All right. Thank you for listening.
All right. Appreciate it,
everybody.
Thank you.